Okay. I believe I have the
Perfect.
organization meeting up.
red
Okay.
circle to pop up. All right. We are ready to go. You ready? All right. Good evening, everyone. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. Happy New Year. Today is Tuesday, January 12th, 2020, and we are 2021. And we are here for our organizational meeting of the South Yucca Lyndhurst Board of Education. May we call to order the meeting this evening. It is now 6:06 p.m. and this meeting is being held in accordance with section 3313.14 of the Ohio Revised Code, which allows us to hold this annual organizational meeting to start the year. May we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mr. Bloomberg?
Here.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Here.
Mrs. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Lee?
Here.
Mrs. Ryan?
Here.
We're going to go into, before we go into the Pledge of Allegiance, I just want to take a moment, if it's appropriate, and you can tell me if I'm not, I just want to take a moment to have a moment of silence before we go into the Pledge of Allegiance. I know our district has suffered a loss with one of our students. I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to take a moment of silence just to honor that situation and just to pay homage to some of the things that we are kind of leaving behind in 2020 as we walk into 2021, even with the state of affairs as far as our nation. So can we just take a moment of silence if I'm in order to be able to do that? All right, thank you very much. And we can go right into the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for that. And we'll go right into item 2.0 with 2.1. Can we, as the presiding board president, I want to call for nominations for the office of president for the 2021 year.
I nominate Mrs. Jones for president.
I
second that nomination.
Hold on one second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, can we get a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
No, second.
Okay. Was that Neil?
Correct.
And Mrs. Falkenberg?
And Catherine, yeah.
All right. Can we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mr. Bloomberg?
Absolutely.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Perfect. With that roll call, that is a vote taken to close those nominations. Can we go into the, did I do that wrong?
No, you're doing it right. Now we just vote. Now we do the vote for the election, and we only have one nominee.
Okay. I'm like, this is crazy. All right. Can we go ahead and get a vote for 2.2, the election of the president on those nominations? And each member will vote yes or no when Mr. Hill calls our names.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan?
Yes.
Right. I want, is it appropriate to say thank you first?
Congratulations.
So thank you guys. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to serve with you guys and for you guys. not always the easiest person to get along with. I think that's life in general, but I do appreciate you guys' willingness to work with me and us collaborating together to work as a unit for the residents that we serve in our district. So again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate it, and I don't take it lightly. And do you want to go ahead and go into the oath, Mr. Hill?
Yes. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as president of the Board of Education of the South Euclid Lyndhurst City School District, Cuyahoga County, Ohio, to the best of your ability in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
And I signed it. So that is good. With that being said, I will say, since I'm here on the record, I have all intentions for running in the election coming up in November. I gave it some thought. You know, my kid is graduating this year, but even though my kid is walking across the stage, I don't consider my tenure done because there's another 2,000 some kids that are in the district that I consider mine as well. So I believe I'm excited to move forward, and I will be casting my petition to go forward for the election in 2021. So hopefully I can get you all support there and look forward for another round. We will go right into item 2.4, nominations for board vice president. Do we have any nominations that we want to put forth for vice president?
I nominate Aaron Harris Lee Harris.
So just for the record, there is a small typo in these notes. Mr. Hill did correct them, but we are at Aaron Lee now. So we will try to remember that as we go forward, Ms. Lee. No disrespect to that, but we got to get used to the new you. Right, so Neil nominates Aaron Lee for the position of vice president. Any other nominations? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
We need a motion. This one is a motion and a second.
Oh,
Neil.
a motion, a second.
Okay.
Yeah, Neil on the motion and Stephanie on the second. May we get a roll
Mr.
call?
Bloomberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Lee.
Yes.
All right. Now that we have the nominations closed, may we take a vote on the election of the vice president?
Ms.
Yes.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Lee.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, we want to welcome Ms. Lee to the office of Vice President for the year 2021. Any comments, Ms. Lee?
No. I appreciate you all. Like I stated, the other day I served gladly. Well, especially past year, I feel that forward to our continued work together. Underneath Superintendent Reed, who's done as well as you all as board. I appreciate Stephanie and Kath Hill. You all, hopefully, you all will decide. Hopefully, 2021.
You're breaking up a bit, Aaron. We got
I
the
asked, is
gist
it
of
my
it.
phone or is it yours? We're getting every other word from you.
Sorry, I just was walking. So I was on the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. All right, and you have your oath in front of you as well. And Mr. Hill, we can proceed with that if she's ready.
Aaron, I need you on camera.
Hold on. I know she's on a Chromebook, so she might have had to flip over.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that back in my back?
Yep, you are back.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as Vice President of the Board of Education of the South Euclid-Lyndhurst City School District, Cuyahoga County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified?
I do.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm signing this right now.
Okay. And if you both just want to drop it off sometime, or I can come pick it up, let me know.
I'll drop it off. That's fine.
Okay.
Can we fax it over or email it over to you?
That's fine.
Okay, we can get that
Just
done in
fine
the
though
morning.
too, Cassandra. I can always drop them off to you.
Okay, or I can drop there, doesn't matter. All right, so we ready to go? We can go right into item 3.1. This is the 2021 board meeting schedule. The South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education approves the proposed 2021 regular and special board meetings for 2021 and the 2022 organizational meeting as reflected in the attached Appendix A. I believe we did get a chance to review that and we didn't have any further corrections beyond the one you did to coincide with the end of the school year, correct, Mr. Hill?
Correct.
Okay. If we are going to use that, can we get a motion to approve item 3.1?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Falkenberg, Ms. Lee. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Perfect. So we are good to go there. Down into item 4, general business. Looking at item 4.1, the service fund. In accordance to ORC 3313.5, the South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education does hereby establish a service fund. Funds are set aside in an account for the general fund and hereby appropriated for the purpose of said fund. Sums up to $20,000, which amounts may be incorporated in the appropriateness of the SEL school district for each fiscal year. And item 4.2, the authorization for purchasing and contract signing. This is the ordinance that authorizes the superintendent to make purchases and sign contracts for the calendar year 2021 in accordance with the board approved appropriations on behalf of the SEL School Board of Education. Item 4.3 is the authorization for payment of bills. Authorizes the treasurer to pay invoices as submitted and report those paid to the board each month for its acceptance. Item 4.4, authorization to invest funds. South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education hereby authorizes the treasurer to invest active, inactive, and interim funds of the district with its designated depositories at the maximum rate of interest available at the time of investment and report those to the board at its regular meetings. Item 4.5, authorization for the superintendent to hire staff in between board meetings. Do I need to read these descriptions? I'm sorry.
I mean, I think you'd have to go in further in depth if
Okay.
it's something that the title doesn't really, I mean, that's pretty basic for that one. I would think you're okay.
Okay. Item 4.6, authorization for the superintendent to accept resignations. Item 4.7, stipends. That is authorizing the treasurer on behalf of the board to pay curriculum writing stipends, and those stipends to staff based on their attendance and submission of appropriate documents. Item 4.8, authorization for overnight field trips related to OHSAA contests and tournaments. Item 4.9, our yearly OSBA membership agreement for the 2021 year. There is a letter there as well from the president of OSBA thanking us for our relationship. Item 4.10, special education placements. Item 4.11, can we get a motion to approve general business items 4.1 through 4.10?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Stephanie, any questions or comments? I will say in a comment, majority of these are regular routine items that occur during our daily course of business as a school district, so they are not anything abnormal. They are things that take place regularly. And just for the record keeping purposes on that 4.11 approval, Mr. Hill, just note that in the recommended action, it does indicate 5.1, but that should be a 4.1, correct?
It's corrected now. We've got the live agenda shows the correct. So what we're voting on is correct. If you printed them off prior to about 20 minutes before the meeting, it would show the 5.
All right, perfect.
We should be all set.
Okay, perfect. I got my glasses on too, I can read.
Yeah, the only reason there was a change there is I removed, last year we didn't do the OSBA Legal Assistance Fund. So
Okay.
I removed that, kind of threw off some of those.
Okay, perfect. Any further questions or comments? If we are hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee. You're muted. Thumbs up.
Can you see her thumb?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll go right into item 5.1, the liaison appointments. We've got item 5.1 is our yearly OSBA legislative liaison and student achievement liaison assignments. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, the Southfield-Lyndhurst Board of Education wants to appoint Mr. Neil Bloomberg as the board's OSBA legislative liaison and Mrs. Catherine Falkenberg as the board's OSBA student achievement liaison.
Yes.
May we get a motion to approve item 5.1?
So moved.
Second?
Ryan and Mrs. Falkenberg. Any questions or comments? I do thank you guys for serving. It's not always easy to go through those emails and those researches, but you guys seem like you're having a blast doing it. Mr. Bloomberg, keep bringing us those new reports for 2021 and find some money. Ms. Falkenberg, thank you as well for the time that you put in with those student achievement reports as well.
Very welcome.
May we get a roll call to approve item 5.1?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee. We have no
All right.
sound for you, Aaron. Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, we're good.
I think the Chromebook's letting her down tonight.
All right. Item 6.1, Board Legal Counsel. South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education hereby authorizes the board, superintendent, or treasurer to employ any legal firm necessary during the course of the year. Item 6.2, Legal Counsel for Board of Revision hearings. South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education hereby authorizes the treasurer and/or the law firm to act as agent for the Board of Education related to filing and signing real estate tax complaints. That is not a change to the relationship that we've already previously had. So those are just renewals for this year. And may we get a motion to approve item 6.3, which is the approval of legal counsel items as presented in 6.1 through 6.3.
So moved.
Mrs. Ryan
second,
and Mr. Bloomberg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee.
Aye. Can you hear me now?
I can. Thank you.
I figured it out. Okay.
Brand commercial. Item 7.1, authorization to pay minimum wage. May we get a motion to approve that item?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yes, I have forgotten what the minimum wage is now.
It was moved from 870 to 880 effective January 1st, 2021.
Okay,
And
sad.
just keep in mind, that's the state of Ohio minimum wage, not the federal one.
Right,
It's still sad, but okay.
it is.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee.
Aye.
All right. Item 8.1, authorization to pay substitute rates. So listed here is the South Eagle Lyndhurst Board of Education authorizing the treasurer to pay the following substitute rates. They are listed on the agenda item as described. May we get a motion to approve item 8.1?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ryan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Chromebook.
did he freeze?
No, he's there.
I see his face. I think he froze.
There he is.
Sorry about that. I got kicked off. Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee.
Aye.
All right. Dr. Reed, I'll give you the pleasure if you want
Yeah.
to do item 9.
Thank you. Under 9.1, well, good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. For those of you that don't know, that January is Board Recognition Month, and school districts around the state of Ohio recognize their board members. A couple of things before we give gratitude to our board members. I just want to say to all of you, what a pleasure it's to be here in South Eagle Lyndhurst Schools. It's hard to believe this is my 9th school year here. It has become my family away from home. I've worked with several board members since my coming here 9 years, and I can tell you it doesn't matter what board members I work with. This is a very committed board and community to education. That's one thing my husband and I, we came here and, he had such a feel for, he goes, wow, he goes, this is a really a great community. He actually thought I'd never leave my last school district because I tend to be very loyal. I've been married 37 years to him, so ask him about that. But, when we came here, it just was, it felt like the right place. And I think having, just speaking from a superintendent, having a board, it doesn't matter, but a board that's committed to the vision of the future for its children is one that's very exciting for a superintendent to work in. So I just want to personally thank you before we get into some other gratitudes from the bottom of my heart, how much I appreciate the support, but I truly enjoy working with you. So thank you. Mr. Hill, before I move on, anything?
Yeah, I'd also like to reiterate that. Haven't been here nearly as long as Linda, but the year and a half I've been here, it's been a pleasure working with all of you. I think, since when I first interviewed with you guys, we kind of hit it off right off the bat. And I've had my fair share of dealing with some interesting boards, we'll just say that. And I really do appreciate every single one of you and the relationships we have individually and collectively. So thank you.
So as you know, this is a unique year, and typically everybody that we'd go into the auditorium now and we would do something and be able to. So I was really trying to think, well, what can I do for a board that we so appreciate? So what we did was we put out to, we didn't put it out to everybody because we wouldn't be able to manage that, but we asked Deb Betts, my administrative assistant, to, send out to civic leaders, our PTAs, our administrators, to if there was any type of thanks they wanted to give the Board of Education. Again, I know our staff is very grateful for the board, but trying to put it into a small presentation, we were not sure whether we can get it done. So at this time, we have a couple things that we'd like to show you. And Mr. Capel is going to assist me here. So Mr. Capel, if I'm going to stop presenting, and if you could present the first presentation, the PowerPoint, and just so you know, everything that you're going to see this evening, if it moves kind of quick for the sake and respect everybody's time, I will be emailing and sharing it with the board tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So I am going to stop sharing. And my right-hand technology person is going to take over, Mr. Capel.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down a road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? Car you lack, I'd surely buy you a Cadillac. Whatever you need, any time of the day or night. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? into the night, the Milky Way. You'll hear me call as we ascend. I'll say your name, then once again, thank you for being a Thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you. Thank you for being a friend. People, let me tell you about a friend. I wanna thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I wanna thank you.
I
Really
Thank you.
natural.
I-
So
I-
nice.
I hope you and I hope you enjoyed it. We were trying to be creative. Now we're not done yet. I left the homework assignment wide open. We have some folks that actually wanted to do a short video for it to thank you as well. And then for the sake of time, I'm also going to share later. We did have our music department. It's like 10 minutes long. I'm going to, and it's a little bit too big to share this evening, but we had a lot of folks that wanted to participate. So, Mr. Capel, for those folks that wanted to do a video, could you start that one for the board? As you can see, you're very well respected. A lot of they had fun.
Hey, SEL Board of Education, just wanted to say thank you. Your constant support and student-centered approach truly makes SEL the destination school community. I appreciate your constant support, your presence, and for always doing what is best for our students and families. Your time, energy, and organization is second to none and makes everything we do easier and allows us to reach the needs of our students on a daily basis. Again, thank you for all you do. Thank you for putting a smile on my face when needed. And go Arcs. Hashtag SEL Strong.
Hey, board members, Mr. Bryan, Principal at Memorial. Just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the Memorial Junior High staff for all your hard work and support during the pandemic. We sincerely appreciate your leadership, guidance, and support, especially during these crazy times. So thank you. We know that you guys work super hard, behind the scenes, handling a lot of stuff for us. So we sincerely appreciate that, and that we hope that you have a great board recognition week.
Hey, it's Mr. Capretta, Assistant Principal, Memorial Junior High. Thank you again for all that you do for our staff and our students. We could never have gotten through this without you. Thanks again.
Hello, board members. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for your support and your advocacy of not only our students, but of our families and our staff. We know that you all are more than just an elected position, but you all are about education, excellence, and community. We know the hard work and sometimes the sleepless nights in making decisions on behalf of our school district. But I believe because of your love for our district, you all have made some great decisions on behalf of our families and students. Not just because it's January and Board Members Recognition Month, but all throughout the year. I apologize that we don't say it enough, but thank you so much for all you've done, and continue to know that we value all that you do to support us and to show us that you care. Enjoy your recognition. You all deserve it. Thank you.
On behalf of the students and staff at Adrian Elementary School, I would like to thank you, Ms. Jones, Ms. Lee, Mr. Bloomberg, Ms. Falkenberg, and Ms. Ryan for setting policies, adapting curriculum, and engaging parents, all to promote student success. Thank you.
In celebration of School Board Recognition Month, the entire Student Services and Strategic Partnerships team, district-wide and school-based, wants to say,
Artoria Ambers says thank you.
Kim Pasiglia says thank you. Rhonda Fleming says thank you.
Christine Creviston says thank you.
Malika Bussey says thank you.
Chet Mason says thank you.
Eddie Hall, thanks you.
Stacy Commander says thank you.
Jack Ryan says thank you. Jerome Jackson says thank you.
Brenda Wilson says thank you.
Allison Sampson, thanks you. Kelly Albrecht, thank you. Rachel Duber, thank you.
Shannon Carlson, thank you.
Lisa Artino, thanks you.
Lindsay Cutler, thanks you.
David Rash says thank you.
Faye Delgado, thanks you. Chris Durkin says thank you.
Sue Cicero, thanks you.
Bridget Johnson says thank you.
Jesse Blazer says thank you.
Sarah Ball, thank you. Christy Myers, thanks you. We want to say thank you for all you do for the students, families, and staff in Southeast Lyndhurst Schools.
We appreciate
So the third one is, I want to also mention that Mr. Shamp, thank you out there. And like I said, it's about a 10-minute clip. We have a little bit difficulty getting it because of its size. I'm going to resend it. You have our students singing a little bit individually because we're in a pandemic. They're not together, and some of them are playing their cello and just different things. And so I will be sending that in a larger file. Just so you know, we had fun with this. We obviously you're all very well respected. Even when that strategic Melissa's department put that together, it took an hour just for 3 minutes to try to, as you can see, coordinate. And of course, our technology skills have been stretched. But anyways, there's a lot of folks that Bets who helped coordinate this for me, and then Charbel helped put it together. Ryan Morton. There's just so many different people. But again, we want to say thanks. And of course, it's not in person, but we hope you felt the love in a different way. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. It feels so good to see their faces.
Yeah, that was really special.
So yes, thank you.
So I'm going to represent the agenda here. And I think we're almost to the end here. The last piece there, President Jones.
10.
Yep.
All right. Can we get a motion to adjourn the 2021 organizational meeting?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Lee, is that Ms. Falkenberg? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call for adjournment?
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
And for those of you listening, we're not going anywhere. We're just going to pause for a moment here where I can switch agendas and be able to bring up the regular board meeting agenda. So I'm going to stop presenting this. And Mr. Cable, there should be probably a short intermission.
So we're looking at about a 15-minute intermission?
We don't have to take that long. I mean, when everybody's ready, we can we can transition. We just needed to have some kind of split.
Okay.
This 2 meetings.
Okay, hold on.
And
just
so
hold
it's
I'll
okay to
give you
roll into
the-
that meeting early.
Yeah, I'll give you guys the heads up too when everything's muted. Joe's doing it right now. If you guys are all ready.
Okay. Yep.
Is everybody ready?
Yep. Can you hear me? Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
You ready, Mr. Capel?
Yep, Joe said just give him 5 seconds. He's gonna have it up and loaded. He's good to go.
Okay.
He can hear us. So if not, it starts to go crazy. That's why Joe's not ready yet.
Okay.
Yep, good to go, Miss Jones. We're live.
Hold on 1 second. I was trying. Did it flip? Aaron, did you see it flip over on that YouTube feed?
I'm looking now because I was on there, yes.
I saw it flip over, Cassandra.
Yeah, it's on there. We're good, Cassandra.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you were with us for our organizational meeting, thank you for staying with us. We'll go right into the first regular meeting of the South Hugo-Lyndhurst Board of Education, today being Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. We can go right into our meeting. Can we keep our Pledge of Allegiance from the organizational meeting, or do we? So
We can
just
keep the
for
Pledge of
record-
Allegiance. We can keep the Pledge of Allegiance. We still need to do a roll call, though.
Okay. May we get a roll call for this regular meeting?
Mr. Bloomberg,
Here.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Here.
Mrs. Jones,
Here.
Ms. Lee,
Here.
Mrs. Ryan.
Here.
And just for the record, Mr. Hill, it is 6:49. We can go right into our communication items 2.1. Do we have any liaison reports from our legislative liaison?
Yes, we do. All right, give me 1 second to get my papers. All right, knowing that this is the highlight of every monthly meeting, let's see what's been going on with our legislation and unwanted commentary from me. Hold on, I gotta switch glasses. Apologize for that. So during this lame duck session, our state legislatures have been somewhat busy, and there's a variety of education bills that are awaiting DeWine's signature. For example, multiple education-related bills. So the House Bill HB 409, which modifies students' attendance requirements at certain e-schools, provides flexibility to school districts, and a lot of this stuff that has already been talked about related to COVID. The law also changes include exempt districts from retaining a student under the third grade reading guarantee, which we talked about in the previous school year. It also prohibits the state report cards for the 2021 school year, which is welcoming to, I'm sure, all the schools. The second bill that's waiting action is House Bill 436, which requires districts by the 22-23 school year to administer annual dyslexia screenings for students in grades K through 5. That was something that was mentioned earlier when it was originally being discussed. Now it is been passed and waiting for signature. Also, this bill requires establishment of a multi-sensory structured literacy certification process for teachers employed by the district who provide instruction in grades K through 3, and also requires all K through 3 teachers, special education teachers and special education teachers in grades 4 through 12 to complete between 6 and 18 hours of professional development over a set time frame. Now we have HB House Bill 231, which requires the Ohio Department of Education to compile and publicize a list of entities that provide free and reduced price epinephrine auto-injectors and permit school districts to create training for staff and instruction for students on food allergies and allergic reaction treatment. It also permits schools and camps to procure and use injectable or nasally administers glucagon in accordance with the prescribed policies and exempts them from licensing requirements related to the possession of glucagon. Finally, something that is actually going to be beneficial to our students. HB 210 requires preschool programs and other entities licensed by ODE to screen and test prospective employees for tuberculosis, as well as annually test certain employees for a 5-year period. House Bill 442 modifies pupil services licenses to require only one registration with ODE if the individual is already licensed by another professional board. And then we've got Senate Bill 68, which requires a state model curriculum for high school students on proper interactions with peace officers during traffic stops and other encounters, and requires districts to incorporate this curriculum into at least one course required for high school graduation. And then we have Senate Bill 259, which requires the installation of water bottle filling stations and drinking fountains in new school buildings that are constructed with assistance from Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. For those that are in older buildings, students will still have to raise their hand and ask to go to the water fountain. Then let's move on to what has been critically lacking over the last 20 years is fair school funding plan. Unfortunately, and that's exactly what is written here, substitute House Bill 305 did not pass the legislature by the end of the legislative calendar. Now, that's not a surprise to anybody. The Ohio House has passed their portion, but the Senate wanted to deeper look into the financial impact of the legislation and indicated that they may consider the plan in the 134th General Assembly. Why not? It's been 20 years. And let's see, Huffman made the following remarks regarding the plan. I think the focus needs to return to teachers, and that's, I think, one of the things that needs to be part of however it is that we fund schools. No one really knows what that means, but it's a good stall tactic. One action that did occur during lame duck regarding House Bill 305, the inclusion of get a hold of this, $3 million to pay to study school funding. Not sure what else they're going to study that they haven't over the last 20 years. And then there's a quote from Matt Dolan, which quite frankly isn't worth reading. And I believe that is all the legislative fun we have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. New year, same stuff. Ms. Falkenberg, do we have an achievement liaison report?
Well, the only one that we have, because I tried to print them, my printer's not working now, so I don't have, and can't recall enough information to give report. I'll do two next time. But I did hear on NPR this week in Chicago, I thought this was precious, some teachers, because kids were too close together in the schools. This was in Chicago City schools. Teachers were refusing to go into the classroom when kids were too close. So they were actually teaching from outside. They had moved to online because of this issue. And the teachers were taking their Chromebooks outside and teaching there. And when there was a snowstorm, then they brought, the kindergarten teachers brought big boxes to be like shelters for them. And they had their kindergartners try to figure out, what they could do, what they could make with their boxes. And one of the teachers reported that she was so encouraged to have kids show their creativity. They were really excited about it. And I just thought that's a great way to, get kids involved in the learning. The others, there were some stories about, about how parents can help kids get over some of the anxiety. And there is a lot of anxiety, as you all know, about what happened on Wednesday, but also what's happening with COVID and how to help students kind of express their feelings and move that into the lesson planning. So I'll have more of that at the next meeting.
All right. Well, thank you both for those reports. We can go right into item 2.2, Superintendent's Report.
Good evening again. I actually have something just real short to share. Again, did most of my report with board recognition at our organizational meeting. I just want to share with, if the public is listening, with regards to the rollout of the vaccine. I'm hoping maybe by next month, I'll have a little bit more details, but school leaders have been notified that the school educators, school personnel are included in the phase 1B of the vaccination rollout. They are currently, I believe they started in December, doing the 1A, which would be your healthcare workers, EMS, adults in group homes, your assisted livings and nursing homes and things like that. It was due, phase 1B is set to start February 1st. However, in my meeting with the Cuyahoga County Board of Health, they think that it's going to take them a little bit longer in Cuyahoga County, because the reason I say that, every county is handling it differently. And we're pretty massive. We have a lot of healthcare facilities, a lot more than other counties. And so it's not that they're behind or anything. It's just going to take a lot more. We have a lot more volume. So right now, our staff has been notified of the rollout and how to pre-register for it. We don't really have the logistics of where the open clinics will be to be able to do that. I still have more meetings, but it looks like, according to my meeting with the Cuyahoga County Board of Health last Friday, that around mid-February they should start that rollout. The vaccine in Cuyahoga County, or at least the one that I've been notified is the Moderna, which is the, again, a 2-shot vaccination, I think around 28 days apart. And so I just, want to mention that to folks that the planning stages have begun. When I have a little bit more concrete information, I'd be happy to share that at a future meeting. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reed. Item 2.3, public comment. It's my understanding at this point we do not have any public comment. Mr. Hill will keep us posted. Go into item 3.1, minutes. The minutes of the regular meeting of December 15th, 2020 will be approved as recorded or corrected. Furthermore, the reading of these minutes will be waived. May we get a motion to approve item 3.1?
So moved.
Bloomberg. Was that Ms. Falkenberg?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Thank you. We can go right into the treasurer's report, starting with item 4.1.
Good evening, everyone. Recommend for approval, item 4.1, the financial reports for December 2020. The item 4.2, the bank reconciliation for month end December 2020. Item 4.3, the investment earnings for month end December 2020. Item 4.4, the tax budget for fiscal year 2022. Item 4.5, donations. We have a few on there. Item 4.6, the Bureau of Workers' Comp Group Retrospective Program Renewal for 2021. And I will bring to the attention, this is an update to the current one that we have already approved. Item 4.7, approval of 4 Legacy Village grants. And item 4.8, approval of items 4.1 through 4.7.
All right. Can we get a motion to approve items 4.1 through 4.7?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, sorry, Neil.
Ms. Ryan and Mr. Bloomberg. Any questions or comments?
The one comment I would say, the update to the Bureau of Workers' Comp, we approved it prior. The main update has to do with the number of claims they are getting and having to do with a lot of having to look into more fraud than what I guess kind of status quo for them with our normal rate. They factor in a certain amount of time they spend on this, and the number of claims that have come in and having to look into the fraudulent part of that. They have done an increase, but they have set it based on a certain amount above and beyond what our current prior year expectancy was. So they did give us a little cushion beyond that amount as well. But from what I understand, they're getting pretty inundated. I know I look at quite a few almost on a daily basis just to confirm the validity of them. So.
Thank you for that explanation, Mr. Hill. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Right into item 5 with 5.1 superintendent's items.
You're muted, Linda.
Okay, let's start that over again. Recommend to the, under 5.1, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the following personnel items for certified staff. We have some appointments, some intervention tutors, You can see Sunview will be paid through, these are federal dollars, non-general fund money, Title IV, and then at Roland is Title I. We have a few resignation, I should say retirements. Mrs. Murphy, who was the former principal of Greenview, is retiring. We wish her well. She spent 5 years as principal over in Greenview. And Mr. Kaczynski is also will be leaving us. I'm not quite sure how long he's been in the district, but he's also at Greenview. I also know that he writes books too, so we wish him well, and maybe he'll write another adventure about his time in SEL. So we really wish both Mrs. Murphy and Mr. Kaczynski, two dedicated employees, much health and happiness with their retirement. And then we have a few more paid leaves of absence for 2 of our employees.
All right, may we get a motion to approve item 5.1?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ryan and Ms. Lee. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones.
Aye.
Okay, hold on here. Okay, just, all right, there you go. It just took a little bit, moving a little slow tonight. Hold on, there we go. Under 6.1, classified personnel, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the following classified items. We have a few appointments there. Just again, we're still using our CARES Act money, which does have to be exhausted by a certain date. Mr. Collins is going to continue in that role. He started the year with that in that role. Utility maintenance, and then interventionist specialist assistant. And we have a retirement of one of our new aides, and then a paid leave of absence. And under this, we actually have two substitute custodians for under 6.1.
All right, may we get a motion to approve item 6.1?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Lee. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Supplemental contracts. I think it's a little quiet right now. It appears that we don't have any on here for 7.1. Let's go to 8.1. And recommend under business items, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the LGGA final forms contract for the fiscal year 2021. And just for everybody's knowledge, what we've done is really sometimes contracts were put in different places, and we really wanted to organize that. So a lot of the stuff, if it we're putting a lot of contracts that we have under business items, if it doesn't naturally fall under something that would be special education or clearly academics and things like that. So this is with regards to utilizing our final forms. Excuse me.
May we get a motion to approve item 8.1?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ryan, Mr. Bloomberg, any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg,
Aye.
Mrs. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Lee.
Aye.
Okay. Under, let's see, 9.1, academics, technology, innovation, Yes, it's that time of year. We'll have some MOUs with regards to College Credit Plus. The one this evening is recommend approval of the memorandum of understanding with the Board of Education and Lakeland Community College for the purpose of CCP, which is College Credit Plus, for the summer term beginning May 17, 2021 through May 16, 2022.
May we get a motion to approve item 9.1?
So moved.
Second. Oh,
Ms. Lee? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Miss Lee,
Sorry, aye.
Mr. Bloomberg,
No.
Ms. Falkenberg,
aye.
Mrs. Jones.
Aye. Item 10.1, Superintendent?
Yes, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat this evening. Under 10.1, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the agreement with the Making a Difference Consulting. This is for the second semester. Again, this is the Making a Difference Consulting has worked in our district for several years. And this contract is for the second semester of the school year. Under 10.2 is Empowering Youth and Exploring Justice, a pilot. This is being asked, considered for the 2021 second semester agreement to pilot the Youth Online Discussing Justice program for Brush High School seniors, empowering youth, exploring justice, and you can see the drive social justice informed by empowering young people to advocate for change. We're really excited with regards to being able to pilot this. I know Ms. Thompson is working in collaboration with some folks at Brush Plus and our students. So this is a pilot program that we hope to expand on. And then 10.3, recommend to the Board of Education to approve the Student Services and Strategic Partnerships agenda items 10.1 and 10.2.
May we get a motion to approve items 10.1 through 10.2?
So moved.
Oh, second.
Was that Mr. Bloomberg? And Ms. Falkenberg? Any questions or comments?
Yes. Can you just give a very, I am sorry to keep asking this, but a very brief rundown? I have heard about empowering youth and is it explaining or exploring justice?
Yes.
I'm very excited about that.
Sure.
Will they meet after school? Is it something that will come into like the civics classrooms, or how is that going to work?
Good question. Ms. Thompson, we really kind of want to take the opportunity to explain it because it is exciting. So Ms. Thompson, could you share some information with us?
Sure. So in this particular initiative, Empowering Youth Exploring Justice, is a nonprofit organization, and they do a lot of work in the area of social justice. And so one of our students actually at Brush is actively involved with them from a county standpoint and represents Brush and our district as a youth participant and a youth leader with this group. It's a volunteer situation that she was involved in that was initiated out of the YOU program, Youth Opportunities Unlimited. And so what they do is work with young people in looking at areas of, again, conflict resolution, civil rights, the impacts of COVID, disparities, toxic stress, of topics that are current for our young people and things that they need to discuss in preparing to be adults. With this particular effort, we are looking to either do something at the end of a school day on our Wednesday, or something right after school, recognizing that a lot of our students, our seniors, are employed. And so they're having to have jobs due to some of the circumstances that they find themselves in with COVID. And this is also creating an opportunity for them perhaps to be able to get community service hours because there is work that they will be able to do outside of discussion groups that are in the community-minded, community-centered. And you'll see one of the things that I indicated in the administrative content section was with regard to a photo display, things that they will have to be able to do to demonstrate the learning and social justice efforts and topics that they've explored. So we are, again, not pushing into a class. We're really trying to be very mindful and honoring the academic time that our students are engaged in. Certainly, we know we have a compressed schedule, and we're really wanting to honor that, not pulling students from instruction, but trying to find other ways and opportunities for them to engage in these important topics that are also looking at some, mental health things and having honest conversations, but again, not taking away from the academic instruction that our students so desperately need. I don't know if that answers, I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, that does. So if we can work it into the time when the students don't have to be at work, that would be preferable, correct?
Yes.
And I'm sure that it's going to help.
An opportunity for us. We're looking at that, looking at scheduling and seeing, what is available. At this point, the schedule has not been solidified. What we do know is we are not wanting to take away from instruction in any way. So this will not be something that they're doing in replacement of instruction. We want our students to have the full benefit of content, core content.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Melissa.
Sure.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Ms. Thompson and Ms. Falkenberg for asking that question. I think it's pretty nice to lay that foundation and allow it to be heard again to see what that pilot program is. Hearing no other questions or comments, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Under 11.0, special education items, the first item, 11.1, recommending the confidential settlement agreement between the South Eagle Lineage Schools and a family, a student placed out of the district. Under 11.2, recommend being asked to consider the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities Technical Support Team Agreement effective January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. These support services are provided to students eligible for the CCBDD services at no cost to the district or student. But again, we'd like to memorialize that agreement. And then 11.3, recommending the approval of special education items 11.1 and 11.2.
May we get a motion to approve items 11.1 and 11.2?
So moved.
Second.
And Ms. Falkenberg, any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call?
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mr. Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
All right, item 12.1, Board of Education. Do we have any information that the board wants to bring forth? I will say from my end, I'll be sending out that Sign Up Genius link again so we can get back in that rotation with our school board meetings. Unless you guys want to take a look at it, if we're okay with the meetings that we already had scheduled, we can maintain those. Unless
no, I would like a look at the new agenda, the new list.
The new list? Okay. I'll do a new Sign Up Genius then and send it out, and then we can just pick them as we go. Is that better? Like we did before?
That works for me. Thank you.
Okay. I will try to get that out this week.
That's for the council meetings?
Say that again?
That's for the council meetings?
Yes, sir. For the rotation for the two cities.
Perfect.
I will do that. Any other information. I know some of the PTAs are trying their best to continue on with fundraising and engagement. So kind of difficult, I know, for some of the units. I know Brush is in the process now of trying to go with senior signs and fundraising options. So I do commend those local units, the school units, on trying to keep as much normalcy as possible, but it's rough having these virtual PTA meetings and stuff. But if you guys have a chance to look at some of their sites or have some of their links as best as you can try to support them in any way possible. I try to hop on some of those meetings behind the scenes if I can, but other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
I was gonna do Memorials PTA is having a what is it called? A PTA, Dine to Donate. They are doing Jets Pizza, and it's on Wednesday the 13th from 5 to 9. So if you're able to order from Jets Pizza from Memorial Junior High's PTA, that would be phenomenal to show some support, please, and thank you.
So Erin, have you go ahead, I'm sorry, Catherine.
That's tomorrow, correct?
Yes, the 13th. Yeah, I'm off a week, Catherine. Yes, the 13th is tomorrow. I'm sorry. I read that and I'm like, wait a minute, that's tomorrow.
That's okay. So do we just go in and tell them that we're part of Memorial PTA or, fundraiser?
They say it's a flyer, but you're able to, I know when you order and you say that you want to donate or that you're ordering for Memorial Junior High PTA, they normally go ahead and they get, I think, 15% off the order or something like that.
Okay.
Erin, have you been on Memorial PTA meetings or did you just see that flyer?
I saw the flyer. I have not made it to any PTA meetings. I'm so sorry this school year as of yet with this new virtual thing. So PTA presidents, if you're listening, send me a reminder and I'll join your PTA meeting.
I just came across the blurb as well. Memorial is also doing like a fundraiser where you can buy the birthday sign to put in people's yard. Is that true?
I saw something like that, but I wasn't too sure. I believe it's Christina Heidick, the point of contact for PTA.
I think it is.
I was going to send her an email because I wasn't sure if that was accurate or not, but I did see something to that degree. Yes.
I thought that was pretty neat considering a lot of people aren't really engaging in homes and having parties. Yeah. I thought that was pretty neat and I heard about that. And you can order it and it'll be at the house for one day in your yard saying happy birthday to somebody. And then you can just buy it for family members if you want and they'll just travel and put it in the yard. So I'm gonna check on that. Mr. Hill, I don't believe we have any public comment, do we?
No.
All right. Item 12.2, any new and unfinished business? I don't think so. Item 12.3, board policy. We've got policy adoption. The South Euclid-Lyndhurst Board of Education approves the following board policies that were previously presented for first reading and preliminary review. The following policies were presented for first read and preliminary review at the board meeting that was held on December 15th, 2020. Those policies are revision of 6114, cost principles, spending federal funds, and revision for policy 6325, procurement of federal grants and funds. May we get a motion to approve item 12.3?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bloomberg. Who we got, Ms. Lee or Ms. Falkenberg?
We said it at the same time. It doesn't matter.
All right, we'll give it to Ms. Falkenberg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, may we get a roll call, Mr. Hill?
Mr. Bloomberg?
Sorry, aye.
Ms. Falkenberg?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Perfect. And I think I jumped the gun, sorry, in closing items. We do not have any more public comment.
No.
I said that too early.
Still don't.
All right. And it is now 7:24. We do have a need for a quick executive session. So the board is going to make a motion to adjourn into executive session at 7:24 for the purposes of personnel. Under Ohio law, we are entitled to hold executive session to discuss personnel matters this evening. So we will be going off the air. We will not be making any agenda items or voting, so we will not be returning. So we want to say thank you for everybody who joined us this evening, and Happy New Year. May we get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bloomberg and Mrs. Ryan and personnel. And thank you, administrative staff. Good hearing you and seeing some of you today.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, I will stop streaming now. And let's see.